Well, what's interesting about you, Peter, is that you had very little knowledge of coffee, and yet you became passionate about coffee. How does that work?
Well, I found over the years, I knew nothing about advertising, but I became passionate about it.
Hmm.
And when I got involved in coffee, I love franchising and retail because our company, advertising agency, was the agency that launched McDonald's into the country.
Mm.
And we worked very closely with the franchisees in the company. It wasn't just we make ads.
Mm.
We met with them monthly around the state, every meeting with franchisees, so you're intimately involved.
Mm.
So I sort of grew up with it and liked the cut and thrust of retail. A lot of advertising people don't because it's accountable.
Mm.
If it doesn't sell, you're in strife.
Yes.
Whereas you do nice image advertising, no one measured it, and you can say, well, it worked. Well, how do you
That's
know?
right.
Well, everyone's talking about it. Now, today there's ways to measure it a bit more if people spend the money. But in retail, I love the response stuff.
Mm.
And you do things for the phone to ring, and if it doesn't ring, well, it's not working.
Yeah, that's right.
And you say, well, that hasn't worked, but that's not a problem in direct response.
Right.
Because you say, well, that hasn't worked, but this might, so you try that. And I love the solution sort of
Right.
side of that. So I like retail. So when my partner and his wife asked us to get involved, that's why. And we just learnt coffee on the journey.
So you could grow to be passionate in something, I
Yep.
suppose. You don't necessarily have to discover what it is now, but certainly travel along the journey of doing
Yeah.
something that you
Yeah.
enjoy doing.
Yeah.
That's
What do
in
you
your
think
area of
about all the
strength.
time? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the time?
Yeah, yeah.
What grabs your attention when you're reading or watching or seeing happening? And you've got to say, well, maybe it's in that direction. So you explore it a bit.
That's right.
If you don't move, if you're waiting for the magic phone call to come, I mean, I can't say it never happens, but it's rare. It's like on a bike, push bike. If you just sit there, you fall off. But while you're moving, there's momentum.
Absolutely.
And you're moving, and you go, I'm finding... my oldest son's a good example. He went to university to do landscaping architecture. He was there 2 weeks, and he came home and said, I don't think I want to do this. I said, well, that's okay. Why don't you try it for 2 more weeks?
Right.
And if you don't like it, then...
Because sometimes you've got to know what you don't like to know what you like, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and he in the end didn't, so I said, that's fine. I said, do you want to have a try in advertising? So I got him a job in advertising, and he liked that. He didn't see that was his future, but he actually did a great job there.
Right.
And then when the coffee thing, we got involved in that, I said, would you like to be an assistant manager in one of the company stores? He said, yeah, closer to home. He became passionate in it.
Wow.
And he became operational person. He eventually ran the store, operational person in training. Then in marketing, he developed all the drinks in recent times.
Wow.
So he found his passion.
Just
but
out
the
of
journey just started.
Yeah, of course. Just out of interest, how many stores have you got for Glory Jeans?
In Australia, there are 470.
Wow, from 92 in 2002.
Well, we started in 1996.
Right.
There's 470, and there's now 38 countries open around the world with about 1,000 stores at the moment, but it's growing. Yeah.
Amazing.
But that all grows out of nothing. See, people say, you're really lucky. Yeah. You've got a big business. Well, I said, when we started, no one knew us. They thought we were a fashion store.
Glory Jeans.
Yeah. And, no one knew it. No one knew what we did. It was new and unique in the time.
Yep.
And today, I tell them that the bills have more noughts on the end. So they go, you're right. See, it's all relative.
Absolutely. Wow. Peter, is there a turning point in your life? Is there a point in your life where you made a shift in your thinking, or you just said, this is my journey? Is there a turning point, sort of rags to riches sort of a thing?
Well, as I've shared with you previously, it was probably when I moved churches and saw a church that had huge vision.
Wow.
And then thought, man, there's no reason I can't have a vision that's big. Because people were saying, don't have a big vision, you get disappointed, or that's a stupid vision. And I realised you just ignore them all, and you get that, and that's what you move towards.
That's right. Wow, that's good. How have you inspired others? What have you done to inspire others?
Well, I'm inspiring them to. And the question I ask, if I'm talking one-on-one, or when I'm speaking, or I'm helping consulting to businesses.
Yep.
And what I do is I say, here's the question you need to answer. Fine. Where do you want to be in 3 years?
Right.
Don't tell me you want to be bigger and you like to have more holidays.
Right.
If you want to be bigger, how big? If you want to have more holidays, how many? What do you got in mind? And you put all these things down. There may not be a lot, but with your business, do you want to double, triple? If you've got 50 stores, do you want 150? Do you want 300? I don't care how big it is, because when the bigger it is, the more radically you're going to have to think about your business. But if you want to stay where you are in life and business, you'll die.
So are you involved in consulting? Is that what you do?
Yeah, well, when I finished with Gloria Jeans from day to day, I just went out and I've been speaking a lot, small business groups, schools, large business groups, conventions.
Because I know you do a lot of pro bono work as well.
Yeah, and then people approach me about consulting to them in business.
Right.
So I've taken on some of that.
Yep.
And that's where I got the idea of where you want to be in 3 years. I was finding the first few people I did was wasting our time. I said, we're wasting our time because we're going around in circles. Tell me where you want to go.
Yeah.
And they didn't know, so we pushed them to think about it, and then we planned towards that, and they got momentum.
Yep, yep. Would you like to talk about your compassion project, perhaps, that Gloria Jeans has been involved in at all?
Sure.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, Gloria Jeans is involved in a lot of projects to help people, but one of the things my partner and I decided is we'd like to sponsor some children.
Right.
You can sponsor one. It changes their life because of education, clothing, food, and their family is affected positively by that. So we decided, well, let's take a village in Brazil. You know, it's a coffee-growing region, but let's just pick a village and sponsor 200 children. Wow. And it's a big commitment. And then, because they write to you, you know, a couple of times a year, so you get to write back.
For all 200 children?
Yeah. Yeah, individually. If you sponsor one, you'll get a letter a couple of times a year. So what we did was we involved our wives in writing to them.
Right.
And then at our international convention with master franchisees overseas, we said to them, look, this is what the company's doing. We've got children here that need sponsoring. So they picked up another 57 children around from around the, you know, like the countries and master franchisees.
Right. In Brazil still?
All in Brazil. They've done all in the village.
Yeah.
And then we put it to our staff. They took quite a few, and then we did it to our Australian franchisees, and they took some. So there's something like 450 children now being sponsored in Brazil. And some stores you'll go into have the picture of the child they're sponsoring
that's right. Yes,
in their store, because they're really proud, you know, of that.
Wow.
So, you know, that, and there's been many other projects to involve. What I say to people is it's easy to give a few dollars or some service or product to help people, but learn to partner with an organisation, build their credibility, build their awareness. It will actually build your business.
That's right. How important is it to give back, though, as a business?
Oh, I think it's essential. You see, I don't think we're just here to do nothing. We're here to succeed and be successful so we can be a blessing to other people. Absolutely. We get to live in the benefit of it. Yep. But, you know, we're here to help other people. Absolutely. And, you know, there are many ways to do it.
Okay. Peter, how do you want to be remembered? It's a tough question, but have you ever thought about how you want to be remembered?
No, because I'm probably not thinking about leaving too soon.
No.
I guess, you know, it'd be good to say, you know...
Sorry, just hang on a second.
Yes. Fortunately, it's not landing. So how do I want to be remembered?
Yeah, have you ever thought about that?
Well, I guess it'd be good that people say he gave it all. I don't want to. I hope I'm not at the end and say, look, I didn't expend everything. It's not just thinking money, but I'm thinking of energy and thoughts and ideas and help I could have done for people. You can't help everyone, but to have a peace in you that you've done everything.
Well, somebody asked Mother Teresa, how do you help millions of people? And she goes, well, I help one person at a time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, and some people pick that up and then they help people.
That's right. It's
so
the ripple
effect
that you create.
Because there's no way I can support everyone. There's no way I can help everyone.
Right.
And no one can in this world.
Right.
Despite the people who've got a lot of money, they can no way they can help everyone, but the impact they have can help other people to help.
That's right. You say give it all. What do you mean by that?
Oh, just expend everything. You know, I've learned that there's no such thing as retirement. You know, you might finish a job, like your career, but there's so much opportunity to help the community, or even part-time, to do things. And a lot of people are now doing that, which has been their passion. Actually, their job wasn't their passion, but they're actually able to do things now. And many of those are thriving and growing because they're out doing things. The ones that stop and think they're going to take off every day actually are dead within a very short time.
That's right.
So I don't, unless, it depends how physically, you know, I'm going, you know, I expect to be still, I don't know, consulting, speaking, even if that's all gone, is to be able to volunteer somewhere to be able to help people.
Wow.
Even if it's an administrative job.
Of course. No matter how big or small.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
doesn't
irrelevant what it is. I'm not
That's
looking out to run another big corporation.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, who knows what might happen?
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I'm not looking for it. It's not the passion. It's not the vision. But sometimes these things come in on the journey. You've got to go, well, I need to look at this.
That's right, yeah, and be open to new opportunities.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Peter, what has been your driving force? What is your mission in life, and what gives you...
Well, you see, I see God has a plan and a destiny for me, because that's what He tells us, that He has a plan and a destiny for our future to give us hope.
Right.
And all I want to do is step into that, because that's where He's going to empower me and provide the opportunities and the creativeness and be able to help people. That's where the peace and the happiness comes from, not trying to spin wheels and doing the wrong things.
Sure, yeah, that's great. Peter, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
Much
Colin,
appreciated.
for the opportunity.
Thank you.